Okay, so we are here once again, and it is all about the environment. I mean, who doesn't know about the environment? Maybe the one that is not actually conscious about it, but everyone has an idea about, especially, keep your environment clean. That particular, phrase or sentence. A lot of people are very familiar with that because, even in our immediate communities, most of the times you hear, amongst the community members, Charlie, we have what we call, the Sama people here in our base Ghana. Well, that's how it's been, that's how they are being referred to as. Now, these are environmental officers that, go around from one household to another just to make sure that the place is clean and it's being, maintained, not being polluted and everything. That is something that's actually very peculiar when the conversation of the environment actually pops up. But beyond that, what are we conscious about in terms of the environment? And that's kind of like on the low when it comes to how much people are aware about taking care, proper care of the environment. And like I said, it goes beyond the everyday sanitation matters to global warming, to all the glaciers melting and how the ocean water body is being polluted. The aquatic life basically is actually gradually losing, its value and everything. Tourism being affected globally and all of that. And yes, so on the 5th of June, so I'm talking about some 4 days ago, it was observed globally World Environment Day 2022, which is actually the biggest international day for the environment, led by the United Nations Environment Program. And this is something that has been observed since 1973. Now, this year, it was actually hosted in Sweden. Only One Earth is the campaign. That's the slogan. Living sustainably in harmony with nature. So how are you living in harmony with the environment? So yeah, we cannot have this conversation alone. We definitely need to have an expert to share his expertise opinion on environment basically. So let's start with our base Ghana. We have in our midst, this is no new person. He has always been here when it comes to environmental issues. He's been up to speed with what's happening in the country, Ghana, our base, and of course outside, the country as well. I'm talking about environmental advocate and of course horticulturist. I'm talking about Edem Kojo Doe, who has just joined us on the line. Chief, good afternoon and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, Barry. Thank you for having me. And I've always appreciated your campaign
right
to sustain the environment and restore
exactly
environment. So
right.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you too for making that time. It's kind of like a hunting game between me and you. I've been trying to pin you down, and since this month, especially this past couple of days, has been days, focusing on matters concerning environment. I believe that's why you have been missing. But I'm glad to have you. Thank you so much. Now, on the 5th, the 5th of June was World Environment Day and everything. But let's go back again. It seems we're still not there yet in terms of, that general, perception or how people need to really understand and embrace matters concerning the environment. But again, re-emphasize to us as one who's very conscious about the environment, the importance or the significance of observing such a day by every individual.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. One thing I realized is that people don't still see the environment as part of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't see ourselves as part of the environment. When you talk about the environment, there's nothing like a human being living somewhere, an animal living somewhere, a plant living somewhere. The environment is us, and we are the environment.
Right.
And until we accept and understand this concept of the environment, then we'll appreciate and embrace the reasons why we should conserve and protect the environment we live in.
Wow. The environment is us. We don't need to see it as a different entity.
Sure.
I like that. Now, this year's theme, it says living sustainably in harmony with the environment. I believe it explained what you just said concerning the fact that we are the environment, because whatever we do has a direct impact, positively or negatively, on the environment, correct?
Sure.
Great. So, I mean, last year we observed such a day, and this year we are observing such a day again, with, of course, different themes and different focus and, points of attention. What has changed?
Yeah, a lot has changed in terms of stakeholder consultation, in terms of teamwork in coming together to protect and conserve the environment. Because the environment is not a separate entity for individuals to work uniquely with.
Mm-hmm.
You need a lot of stakeholder consultation. You need a lot of collective effort to make it possible.
Right.
Because no man on earth alone can achieve this ambition of protecting, conserving, and restoring nature. You need a lot of people to come together to make sure that this living with harmony with nature becomes a reality. Because we cannot keep working against nature. When we keep working against nature, we keep working against ourselves. So until we accept the fact that anything that we do to the environment, it will bounce back to us. And now collectively work towards protecting the environment. Then we will be leading somewhere. So this year what has changed is that a lot of stakeholder consultations have gone on to celebrating World Environment Day. And subsequently, tomorrow as I speak to you, is the Green Ghana Day to plant 20 million trees, which is an ambitious one by the president. And I bet you an individual, the president of the Republic alone cannot plant 20 million trees.
Mm-hmm.
The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources cannot plant 20 million trees. The Department of Parks and Gardens cannot plant 20 million trees. Forestry Commission cannot plant 20 million trees. It takes you and I, it takes everybody, it takes every Ghanaian to plant 20 million trees.
Right.
So this year, through our conversations we had last year, the Department of Parks and Gardens was not involved in the implementation of this project. But I speak to you today, the Department of Parks and Gardens is a partner to this. Churches are partners. The chief imam is a partner. The Islamic religious group is a partner. All the Christian religious groups are partners. Schools, teachers, the Ghana Education Service, people who matter in the conservation of the environment are all engaged this year to be part of this Green Ghana Day. So things are changing in terms of stakeholder consultation. So what we need to do more is the community engagement moving forward.
Community engagement, definitely. I mean, so we're looking at as comparing this whole, partners, with stakeholders within our communities. This is something that used not to be so, correct?
Sure.
But due to continuous advocacy and continuous conversation, education and everything, we were able to, attract their attention and let them understand how important it is to be very conscious about the environment. I really like that. Now, aside the environment, as you would put it as an expertise, this is not something that's peculiar to Ghana, because as Ghana as a country, as part of the international organizations, we've actually, been signing treaties here and there. Pledging allegiance to, conserve the environment, to do this, not to do that, and everything. Let's look at Africa as a whole. What are some of the things that you think other African countries are also doing in terms of preserving the environment, that you think, others in the continents can also learn and practice at the same time?
Yes, thanks so much. I think one of the few African countries I can say Ghana should learn from, countries I've visited and countries I've read about. For instance, a country like South Africa.
Yeah, you have been to South Africa. Yeah, you recently visited South Africa.
Sure. I was in Joburg recently, and I was in the southeastern part and western part of South Africa. I was in Rustenburg and Sun City, and it's a beautiful city to visit. They've been able to manage the environment in such a way that you don't see a lot of litter around the streets of South Africa.
Okay.
Most of the streets of Joburg are well landscaped, well trained, and well maintained. And it's a beautiful city to learn from. We take a city like Kenya, Nairobi, where a lot of environmental advocates have come in to imbibe into the curriculum of Kenya, where they have adopted conserving greenery and also adopting their indigenous plants and using them in their landscape and conserving what they have in Kenya, which is attracting a lot of tourism and income into their GDP. You take a country like Rwanda. Rwanda is doing marvelously well when it comes to greenery in that country. They're conserving the environment, they're landscaping their streets, well established and maintained. And one thing I realized is that in Ghana, we are good at planting. But one thing we're not good at is maintenance. We need to adopt the maintenance culture of maintaining our greenery. Because you can't tell me I should plant trees without conserving what we have already, without maintaining this, without nurturing them. Because for planting, everybody can plant. As the old adage goes, "Bon pikin no be hard, but money for cocoa." So it's not just about putting the plant in the ground and burying it, but nurturing it to get the best out of it.
Right.
Because plants are living. They are not innate objects. They are living organisms.
Right.
So, and every living organism just has to give birth to a baby. You need to nurture the baby, feed the baby, and do all that for the baby to grow into a teenager and then to an adult. So these are some of the things we need to look at going forward.
All right.
Learning from the South Africa example, learning from Rwanda, and learning from Kenya.
Of course. I mean, definitely you'd be talking about the fact that the responsible organization that is supposed to make sure that the place is clean, not being littered. And of course, the citizenry as well, I believe, also play a significant role in this regard. Because if you have people working, cleaning the place and it's still being littered, it's like, we are just going around and around a circle without actually achieving anything. But good examples, South Africa, Kenya, Rwanda, and of course, I believe other countries are also doing well. And let's also talk about the issue of maintenance culture. Last year, we planted the initiative by the guy. It was 10 million trees, correct?
5 million trees.
5 million rather. 5 million rather. So, in this regard, we would be looking to still see, or maybe, of course, some might have not really, grown to the expectation and everything. But as an expertise, last year to this year, how do you see these plantation? Is it growing to a level where it should be, seen as ready to start shading, or what level should we be expecting the trees? Because some people might think, we planted a tree last year, so this year we should see it vividly. But I want to believe there's some variations in terms of the plant species. Yes? Is that correct?
Yeah.
So does that also affect the greenery? Because there are some trees that would take 2 to 3 years before they actually get to their what do you call it? Their
maturity.
Exactly. So are they also? Is this also part of the hindrance where most people would say that, we are not seeing anything? Why is it so? Is it because of the lack of Is it because of the maintenance culture, or is because of the type of plants we actually planted?
Yeah, thank you so much. This is two things. The first one is ignorance.
Okay.
That's people not understanding how plants grow and how plants behave and how plants should be looked at.
Right.
For instance, when I plant a tree of life or a mimosa or even, let me say, a mango, you don't expect to plant a mango today and next year you start harvesting fruit. It will take you 3, 4, 5 years before you can see the effect of some of these trees you planted.
Right.
And 2, stand out of maintenance culture. Last year, because most stakeholders were not engaged, it was just planted. People planted, and they never took time to nurture these trees to grow. So that is where the maintenance culture bit comes in.
Okay.
But this year, one of the things parks and gardens play a critical role is not just about supply of tree seedlings to support the Forestry Commission to achieve the 20 million which the president has targeted for us to plant this year. The Department of Parks and Gardens is coming in to take over with the natural aspect of planting these trees. So this year, I think the issue of maintenance and nurturing is being taken care of by the Department of Parks and Gardens by support from other agencies and government organizations, the private sector, supported to make sure that these trees are nurtured and sustained. So one other area I think we should be doing, which we've already started, and I think more should be done in that area, is creation of awareness and education of the general public.
Right.
To understand that you don't plant a tree today and harvest fruits. You plant today to harvest tomorrow.
Right.
So people should be a little bit patient and understand that these trees you are planting this year or last year will not just bear the results quickly, but it will take some time, at least 3, 4, 5 years, for us to see the effects of what is being done.
Great. I like the fact
that this year with the 20 million trees, the strategy is that 10 million of those will be planted in urban centers. That's in schools, communities, in
recreational
road medians, recreational parks, and all that. And the 10 million is going to be planted in 4 degraded forests where people have caused a lot of degradation. They've killed the trees for their other illegal activities, which we all call calamity. So the second strategy is to plant in these degraded areas. So this is the strategy the stakeholders are adopting this year to actually meet the 20 million target.
Right. I like the fact that you mentioned that. I mean, you wouldn't plant a mango tree today and expect start plucking mangoes and everything. So due to variations of species, definitely one wouldn't, some of the trees would not grow as people want to see it grow and start manifesting itself. But great point made right there. And let's look at tomorrow, Green Ghana Day, a great initiative by the government. What are some of the activities that's going to be taking place tomorrow, and what are you doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow basically we're going to planting trees across the country, and out of these 20 million trees, one of the activities is the President of the Republic of Ghana, who is championing this tree planting, Green Ghana Day, is personally planting a tree at the Forsabelam Park with other dignitaries tomorrow, in the morning at 7 a.m. And then we also have the Ministry of Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, in line with the Department of Parks and Gardens, leading the charge at the Blue Botanic Gardens to plant to replace dead trees in the Blue Botanic Gardens tomorrow. And other places of interest will be planted across in Ghana. So this is going to be happening across the country tomorrow.
So what happens? Can a citizen walk into the forestry department, to also ask for a seed to plant in their area, their house? Is this something that can be done?
Yeah, thank you. So as I speak to you now, individuals, corporate organizations, schools, churches are moving to the offices of the Department of Parks and Gardens, Forestry Commission, and other MMDAs to pick up seedlings to go plant. You don't need to go pay for any seedlings tomorrow or today. You can even start taking your seedlings today at any head office of the Department of Parks and Gardens across the regions. And they are the head office of the Department of Parks and Gardens and all the offices of the Forestry Commission to pick up a seedling for free to go plant at home, in your school, in your church, in your mosque, or in your community. And even the medians and other NGOs are also going for these seedlings for free to go plant tomorrow to observe the Green Ghana Day.
All right, great one. And I actually, quick one before you go. Someone was asking me yesterday, so if I should walk into a forestry department or Parks and Garden and get a seed, I should be advised. Is there any engagement with the person who is supposed to plant on how, where, or what are some of the observations they should actually be looking out forward to before they actually plant?
Yeah. Thanks for this question, which is very critical to this whole project. The Department of Parks and Gardens, with their technical officers who are expertise in this job, have designated some officials at the distribution centers. And the Forestry Commission has also designated some technical people at the distribution centers to educate the citizens who are picking up seedlings as to how to plant. So on this medium, I also use the opportunity to educate Ghanaians as to how to plant their trees. Basically, you must dig about 2, not less than 1 foot or 2 feet down and 2 feet wide. 2 feet down because if there's a boulder or a rock underneath, you'll be able to see it when you dig 2 feet down. But when you dig just some few inches, you may not know there's a rock. The plant will not be growing, it will be stunted. So when you dig 2 feet, you realize that if there's any boulder or any rock, you'll be able to uproot or remove that boulder or the rock and then plant the tree for the tree to grow well in that environment. And 2, when you dig 2 feet deeper, you realize that you've loosened the earth for the roots of the plant to easily penetrate and grow well. Because the roots of the plant is what is going to tap the minerals and the salt and the water and the moisture from the soil to boost the plant to grow.
Okay.
So you need to have the foundation, which is the beginning of the plant, the whole for the plant to grow well.
Right.
So basically, these are all the things you need to observe. And then 2 feet wider for the plant root to spread across. And also, you don't just plant and leave it. You need to press the soil down, firm it, and then water for the tree to grow well. So basically, these are all the things one needs to do.
All right. Okay. 2 feet. 2 feet wider.
2 feet deeper, 2 feet wider.
2 feet deeper, 2 feet wider.
2 feet wider.
All right.
Then when you plant, then
okay, so you've heard it from the experts: 2 feet deeper, 2 feet wider, to, of course, give the plant a growing space. Thank you very much, environmentalist. Of course, you've been doing your job, and I must thank you. You've been at the center, forefront.